Top story, controversy continues to plague the National Conservatism Conference in Brussels after attempts were made to shut it down yesterday. The local mayor is called Emir Kir, and he opposed all that was going on, claiming he issued the order to police to ensure public security.
Well, Nigel Farage was a keynote speaker at the event, and he was on stage as police arrived to try and close it down.
The police are outside the door as I speak. They will not let anybody else in. There are 3 police there. They have an order to close down this event, and when more police gather, that's exactly what they'll do. No alternative opinion allowed. This is the updated new form of communism. And you know what? If anything ever made me think that Brexit was the right thing to do, it's the events here in Brussels today.
Well, the Belgian Prime Minister labelled the moves unacceptable, a sentiment echoed by the British government, who told GB News.
It's unclear exactly what's happened here, but the scenes will worry anyone who believes in free speech. Free societies should be confident enough to allow free debate.
Labour, however, were quick to point to the calibre of attendees. They said Suella Braverman and Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban, a close ally of Putin, were questionable.
I think some of the speakers, from what I understand, who have been advertised on the website for this conference, have very unsavoury views. I'm rather surprised that Suella Braverman's been allowed to go and speak at this event. Why is Rishi Sunak not getting a grip of this situation? Why is he not asking Suella Braverman to pull out of this event? Because some of the characters involved, at least according to their website, have made all kinds of comments which I don't think the Rishi Sunak's Tory party would want to associate themselves with.
Well, the attacks at Suella Braverman didn't stop there. The Shadow Health Secretary, Wes Streeting, this is what he had to say in the Commons yesterday.
Right, Honourable Member for Fareham, who couldn't be here today with us, Mr Deputy Speaker, because she's currently in Brussels, surrounded by the police who are trying to shut down the event she's attended with some far-right fanatics with whom she has much in common.
So there we go. We're going to now get the thoughts of our political correspondent, Olivia Utley, on all of this. So, Olivia, tell us why the controversy about this, what was so bad about this, and the Prime Minister there, not the Prime Minister of, where is it in?
Hungary.
No, in
Belgium.
Belgium. So he's a real far lefty, and he was worried about violence. Was that likely?
Well, the whole conference was beset with problems from the get-go. 2 events that were supposed to host it ended up backing out at the last minute because the Belgian mayor, who is the Brussels mayor, who is a socialist, did not want the event to go ahead. Finally, the organisers found this venue which were willing to accept them, but then while they were inside, the Belgian mayor ordered the police to close it down. Now, he said that there were public order concerns with the event. There are suggestions that perhaps he had seen papers which suggested there might be comments which would be homophobic at the event, or that there would be people who could be offended by what some of the speakers would say. Lots of us in the West, living in democratic countries, think that that's okay, that people being offended by what other people have to say is part and parcel of democracy. But this mayor decided that the event had to be closed down. Then we got into this sort of farcical situation where Nigel Farage was on the stage speaking. The Belgian police turned up. There weren't very many of them, and it was a big event. So they went off to get backup. Backup arrived. There was this huge line of Belgian police standing outside this event, and delegates were allowed to leave, but they weren't allowed to enter. At one point, the Brussels mayor even said that he would be prepared to shut off the electricity at the event if it were to continue. Now, on the whole, the reaction to this around the world has been outrage with the mayor for thinking that he had the right to close down this event. And there are plenty of Brexiteers who sort of follow what Nigel Farage said yesterday and said that this is a good reason to leave the European Union. one element of this which I find quite fascinating is in the UK we've had such a controversy over the European Court of Human Rights, but there is an argument, lawyers have been suggesting, that some of the Conservative MPs who were there, for example Suella Braverman, who had to stop speaking because of the police turning up, she could potentially sue the Brussels mayor under the rules of the European Court of Human Rights, the organisation which she has been so keen for Britain to leave. So there's all sorts of interesting elements playing out in this saga here, and it'll be fascinating to see what happens at the event today.